There was once a hare who could run very, very fast. He was so proud of his speed. All day, he boasted about his quickness to all the animals. He said, "When I run at full speed, no one can come near me." All the animals were jealous of the hare's speed, and they were tired of listening to him brag. But they knew they could never be as swift as he was. One day, the hare again was boasting, and he challenged all the animals to a race. "I dare anyone here to race with me," he said. The animals knew how fast he was, and knew they would lose if they tried to compete. So, none accepted the challenge. The animals walked away in defeat, and the hare gloated in its victory. But then, the tortoise stepped up and boldly said, "I will accept your challenge. I will race against you." The animals that had started walking away all stopped. The hare burst out laughing. You! How can you win this race when you walk along at your slow speed?" The tortoise ignored the proud hare and started walking towards the starting line. All the animals came out of the forest and stood along the road to watch the race. The lion was first, with his big bushy mane. Then the elephant with his long trunk. And Mr. and Mrs. Monkey with all their little monkeys lined the road, eager to see the contest. The slow and steady tortoise lined up against the speedy hare to start the race. The hare looked at the tortoise and said, "Get ready to lose, my slow and sluggish friend." The animals knew the hare would win easily, so they did not cheer too loudly for the poor tortoise. And then the contest began. The hare raced away, going as fast as he could, while the tortoise was far behind, walking slowly, a step at a time. As the animals watched, the speedy hare kept running and running and running until he was so far ahead, he could not even see the tortoise at all. The hare then stopped to look back at his lead and smiled with a broad grin. "Ah, there's plenty of time to relax now," he said with a big grin, and he stretched out and fell asleep under a tree by the side of the road. The hare was full of pride and thought he would wake up and still be able to win the race. As the hare slept, the slow and steady tortoise walked and never gave up. He walked slow and steady by all the animals watching the road. He walked slow and steady right past the hare, asleep under the tree. The tortoise was now very close to the finish line. He could see it just down the road. The animals who were watching cheered so loudly for the tortoise that they woke up the hare. The hare realized he was in trouble. He got up and started running as fast as he could. But it was too late. The slow and steady tortoise crossed the finish line first and won the race. After the race, the hare sat alone as he was very discouraged. "How could I lose? I am the best," he thought to himself. The tortoise walked over to him and said, "Here is a little poem my father taught me. Never boast about yourself, my friend. You may not win in the end." The hare looked back and replied, "I was always so proud of my speed, but now I realize it doesn't matter how fast I am. Slow and steady always wins the race."